Hey everyone, welcome to our virtual waiting room. We are just getting ready to get started here on our Facebook Live. Wanted to give you just a quick minute to see the setup. I know a couple of you had emailed earlier and messaged us on Facebook wondering how you could get the recipes for today. So we've got that all set and ready to go. Shut that volume off. So check in tonight, say hi, let us know where you're watching from so we can give you a shout out. And these are all of our ingredients we have set up for you tonight and ready to go. I know a couple of you, like I said, had messaged earlier wanting to cook along with us tonight. And we are set. So looks like we have Todd Ingley and Tammy. Nice to see you. Chester, how are you? Andy and Julie, hello. Michael DeBello, good to see you as well. Give us a shout out. We're putting on the grill this weekend for Father's Day. We're getting you set up for a little bit of Father's Day. We're getting set up for a little bit of Father's Day, and we are set to go. So Chester says hello. Tammy said she's watching from the road, so I'm thinking passenger, right? Hey, I'm Chef Jason Morse, you guys, and welcome to Friday Night with Beef. We're super excited to be with you tonight. As always, Father's Day weekend. It is a big weekend. We are doing something fun tonight, getting you in tune for maybe tomorrow night is Father's Day Eve, and you want to hang out and watch family movies and do that kind of stuff, or kick into Hulu or Netflix. We have a great recipe for you tonight. Beef empanadas. We have 7 ingredients tonight, right? We have 7 ingredients. Now, 6 of them are pretty easy. One of them is controversial. Yeah, it's raisins. So the discussion going around today has been raisins or no raisins. And I'm here to tell you, look at this awesome recipe we have here for you. We have a great recipe for you. And the beauty of this, look at this recipe like this is your canvas, okay? You can start and use this as kind of like the template or the base to make some really cool empanadas. And we're going to show you the process and show you how easy it is. But guess what? This is your recipe. You can print it, edit it, alter it, do whatever you want. Empanadas are basically a filled pastry that is either baked or fried. So you can put, obviously we're putting beef in there, right? You can't put anything else but beef. You could put cheese if you want. You could put vegetables. You could put all that good stuff. Tonight, we're going to do raisins. They give it a really good sweet, sorry, let me rephrase that. We'll do half with raisins. They give it a really good sweetness. I actually am looking forward to that. So any questions rolling in, Ann?
No, but Andy Rao is watching from the cigar patio.
I like it. Andy's on the cigar patio?
Instead of the grill stadium.
So you know what that means, Annie?
What does that mean? We need a
Stay
cigar?
on the food. No. It means questions are rolling in on the phone.
Yeah, comments.
Comments.
No questions so far.
I know, but
Hi,
that's
Bruce
good.
and Donna. Thanks for watching.
What do we got over here? Ladies and gentlemen, we have solved a Facebook dilemma. We now have comments coming up on the computer and coming up on our phone. Life is good. So, hey, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to show you the power of TV today, right? So I did a little empanada prep earlier to start the day. We're going to pop these guys in the oven to get those started for tonight's live. All right? So feel free, like we always say, you can grab today's recipe. You can go to cobeef.com, and right up top, there's a little tab called Cooking. You can click on the Cooking tab, and that will bring up all the recipes we've been doing. This is week 11 right now. So we've got 11 weeks of recipes. We've got some really cool beef tips, steak swaps, a lot of cool information for you as well. That's at cobeef.com. Click on Cooking, grab those recipes, and then if you're looking to add some Colorado beef to your freezer, to your fridge, to your bellies, you can find our beef locator on cobeef.com, and you click on that. That'll bring up everyone in Colorado that has some amazing Colorado beef ready to stock your fridge. So click on that and get in there and support local and make our farmers and ranchers happy by loading your fridges with the bounty of their harvest, right? All right. How's that? Any questions coming in?
Nope.
We have Annie Patton watching. Thank you very much. All right, first thing we've got. You ready?
Yep.
We have got 80-20 ground beef, just our standard 80-20 that we like, and we are set to go with that. And I went with chuck tonight, and that's just one of my favorite ground mussels. I like chuck. It eats really steaky and tastes fantastic.
So you got this on the...
We're doing this in cast iron. Yep. And while this is kind of doing its thing, you guys, here's what I've already done ahead of time. I have some pie dough. And I pulled this out of the fridge. It comes in the refrigerated section at your grocery store. I pulled this out of the fridge, and I'm just letting it soften, right? We want it to soften a little bit because we're going to cut those into discs, and when we fill it and fold them, we want them to stretch just a little bit. So, all right, come on in here, Ann.
Let's say hi to Annie Patton.
Hi, Annie Patton. How are you? Any questions rolling in? No? I'm so happy that they're showing up now.
Yep, we can see them.
It's beautiful. Technology is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So,
You know how to use it.
Yeah. Hello to everyone that is tuning in. We're glad to have you here on Father's Day weekend. Go ahead and leave us a comment too and tell us, what are you doing for Father's Day? What are you putting on the grill? We are making reservations for Father's Day. So we're actually going to be heading to a steakhouse where I will consume beef and enjoy the night off and not have to cook. So a little bit of beef, a little bit of vino, and I think we're set. All right. So what we're doing on this is just carefully trying to break it up. We're going to render off some of that liquid, get it all set. And again, this is 80-20. So usually by the time you get into the actual stuffing of these empanadas, we're going to have about 10% fat left in here. So we're going to wash off about 10% of this fat. And by wash, I mean just through the cooking process, it will melt out and render, and then we'll drain some of it as well. So, all right, while this is going, a little bit of salt, a little bit of salt. All right, salt, salt, salt. And again, like I always say, you guys, salt as little or as heavy as you prefer. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of cumin.
How much?
Pepper strong. About a teaspoon of cumin. And again, you guys, as much or as little as you like. You know, that's what we always say. And I like to get that in there while we are getting that beef going.
Oh, we got some people going camping and going to the lake. I'm a little jealous.
I like it.
Gary Moyer is cooking beef on his big green egg.
Gary, I love that. That is the best thing ever. We will be doing another little Facebook event tomorrow, too, showing off our Father's Day primer, we call it. We're going to be doing steaks on the big green egg as well. We're going to do some New York, some ribeyes.
So, Michael DeBello, I don't know if it's a question, but he says he's sure he can bake the empanadas on the smoker. Yes? No?
Oh, yeah,
Thoughts?
absolutely. Yep. And I think Michael's got, if I remember right, he has a Gorilla Grill. You can totally do that. And that's a really good point, actually. While this renders, if you want to take this out onto your grill or out onto your smoker or on your barbecue, remember that 400 degrees in here is 400 degrees outside. So if you're doing a gas grill or you're doing, yeah, you see my little prep sous chef partner down here. He likes to wait for Scooby snacks. But again, 400 degrees on your oven is the same as on your grills. And just remember, pay attention to direct or indirect how you're cooking. But, you know, 400 is 400 is 400. Obviously, if you're on a pellet grill, you get a little more smoke. Charcoal, you get a little more charcoal flavor. And gas grill, you're just going to get, you know, that traditional flavor of the grill. But yeah, add a little bit of wood smoke to these things. Whoo! You're in a good place. So we're just going through again as it cooks, letting some of that moisture come out. We're kind of chopping these up into smaller pieces. We don't want them to be too big because as you stuff the empanadas, if the beef is too big, we're going to cause the pie filling, pie dough to break up a little bit. We don't want that. So, all right. Any questions you have, Ann? Anything you want to know about?
When do we eat?
We'll be eating here very soon. Now, we have a really cool plating presentation for you tonight. I wanted to show you because I think empanadas, you know, the last 11 weeks, all of our recipes have been so versatile and they're just so fun. We've got great ways to entertain. You know, we've got steaks. We've done everything. Tonight is a really cool way with empanadas to kind of go mobile. Get down into your family room or take them on the road. Annie, who's running the camera, is going to book club tonight. So I'm actually getting these ready for her to take the book club. And we've got a really cool presentation for you that works great to take your show on the road, so to speak, or to sit down on the couch and hang out with your family and eat some empanadas if you're allowed to eat on the couch. We are, right, Ann?
We don't have a lot of rules.
We don't have a lot of rules in this house, including our pets. Our pets don't have a lot of rules. Come on in close. Show you what we got here. All right, so you can see we've some of that liquid's rendering out, and I'm not too worried about that. I've got a fun little method to show you how we are going to get that done. All right, chili sauce. That is our next ingredient, right? That's going to give it some more moisture, definitely going to give it flavor. Here are the raisins that we left, and we've chopped half of them, we left half of them whole. What we're actually going to do, and there's two different ways you can do this. You can add the raisins into the mix, or just add the raisins into the stuffing. So we're actually going to fill them with the raisins in the stuffing. Like I said, this is the controversial, non-controversial ingredient tonight that everybody's like, can I do this? Someone messaged me today and was like, do I have to add raisins? Well, no. You can follow the recipe and do exactly what you want. That is the beauty of it. All right, we're going to shut the stove off, shut the burner off. All right, now look what watch what we do here. So I'm going to push everything to the side, right? Kind of that way. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy little guy. I'm going to make sure that my
burner's
off. And then I'm just going to let it drain on its own, right? Whatever runs out is going to run out, and now we're totally set to go, right? Let's take a little sneak peek, babe, in the oven. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because I can see just the corner of Oliver's head.
Okay, watch.
On the side here.
We're going to the oven. Ready? Look at that. We have empanadas baking off because we're doing the power of television tonight. So we're going to have those finish while we get a new round going.
Annie, I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the raisins either. Sorry.
You guys are crazy. Do you realize tonight all the ladies in our house are out? So it's like me and Oliver and Gizmo tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, this little cup of raisins is going to make my empanadas absolutely fantastic. All right, come on over here. Let's get filling. So we have pie dough. I'm going to show you one of my little chef tricks when it comes to the cookie sheet, because I want a little bit different texture on the bottom of my empanadas. I'm actually going to put a tiny bit of, this is what, that avocado oil? Yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil on here, and just carefully with my hand, brush that on there. I want a little bit of oil on the bottom of this. Pan coating will work just fine, but I'm looking for just a little bit of crispy, crunchy, wonderful on the bottom. So we're going to go with
So Annie wants to know what else you could add about black olives. Or,
oh, you could do black olives.
or
You
anything
could do,
you like, really, yeah.
Yeah, you could do anything like onions, corn, peppers, black olives, cheese. A couple great empanada shops in Denver. And I'll tell you, never met an empanada I didn't like. All right, we're going to take our cutter, and we're just going to go around the side here. We're going to cut discs, dough, and then we'll just stack these. Now, what I'm going to do with the leftover dough, what you won't see on live, what I'm going to do later is I'll actually keep the dough scraps, and I'm going to go ahead and roll those back out so I can use this all up and make empanadas. So you don't have to be wasteful. You can definitely take this dough like this, put it back into its original form, a nice little dough ball, and we are good. Or pie ball.
So while you're doing that, if you were going to fry these,
Yep.
what temperature, how would that work?
You know, I would do, I would shallow fry, probably about 350, 360 degrees, and just do them shallow in a pan so that you don't have a big, huge, full pan of oil, and then just get them done. And I would say, you know, you're probably looking at 4 to 5 minutes, depending on what's in your filling. The nice thing about these are going to cook a little faster because that filling is warm, which is great.
So that cutter, is it bigger or smaller than a biscuit cutter?
It's bigger. I think that's, what is this, a 3-inch? Yeah, I think that's a 3-inch cutter. All right. Now, here's the next thing you need. You need a fork, because we're going to go old school and crimp these guys, and you need a little bit of water. Okay? So, here's what I do first. You ready? This is the building process. I make myself a little thumbprint so I know where I'm going. Can you get everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I dip my finger in the water, right around the edge here. And I actually will go around it a couple times just to activate that and soften that gluten up a little bit. And then I'm going to take a tiny little pinch here of my filling. And then watch what I do. This is a cool process. This is make a taco, right? Pinch the taco shut. Okay, on all sides. And then make sure it's crimped good. Then lay this guy down, and ready? Make your little fork crimps. Now, here is your next chef's tip. So on the pan, I have you need to put vent holes in the tops of these, right? So I put 2 vent holes for the ones that don't have raisins. Or maybe you made a vegetarian, or not a vegetarian, a vegetable one. I would put 2 vent holes to identify different flavor, or 3 vent holes, or 1 vent hole, just as a way to identify.
So you don't have to put the vent holes in for cooking. It's for identification
will.
of the filling.
You would. I normally put 1 vent hole for cooking. But let's say I'm doing different flavors, like I'm doing beef and veggie, 2 vent holes. Maybe I'm doing beef and cheese, 3 vent holes. And I don't do over 3 because 4 vent holes is too many. All right, back at it again, you guys. Super fun. I tell you what, this is really honestly therapeutic. It's kind of fun sitting here stuffing empanadas. Brings me back to my days in the kitchen where I had to stuff lots of empanadas. And again, you make the taco, crimp that shut gently. Nothing too crazy. We're not trying to break holes in it. We're just crimping it. And then back with your fork.
So are these always made with pastry dough as opposed to like a tortilla?
Yes, they're traditionally made with a empanada dough or a pastry dough. There you go. 2 vent holes again. That's our no raisin. Yeah, I've seen them made with puff pastry. That's not really the traditional way to do it. It's always a dough, either an empanada dough or a pie dough. We have pie dough today because it just works so wonderful. It's nice and flaky. Empanadas are a pretty cool thing. I think once you get the hang of this, you'll have a blast making them, especially knowing you can make the pie dough if you want, but there's convenience doughs out there like we bought today that do just a fantastic job. Ready? Crimp, 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 crimp. Just give these guys a little push. 2 vent holes. There you go. Welcome to Chef Jason's Empanada Factory. Now, when you're done with these guys and you get ready to put them in the oven, I'm just going to make this last one, and then we'll pull these other ones out real quick and show you what we've got. Now, the vent hole does obviously 2 things, right? I always tell my line cooks, it's a window into the soul of the empanada. So if you can see sauce bubbling through the vent hole or cheese, you have a viewing window in there to know that empanada is finished. These guys take about 15 minutes, but that vent hole helps the dough from getting soggy, but then also, like I said, it's like a window into the soul of your empanada. Yes, dear.
So you are using water, but could you use egg to seal it?
I was going to get to that too. I'm using water. You could totally use egg if you want. And if you want them to be a little more browned, you want them to be a little more shiny on the top, you could easily use a little egg wash glaze on the top to be able to get those nice and brown and get a little bit more color. All right, last one, and then we're going to pull those guys out. And then again, when we cook, we always talk about cues, right? There's visual cues to when things are done, like we talked about that vent hole. There's also some smell cues, and you can smell right now like the house smells like empanadas. So we can tell that you can smell that pastry crust cooking. You can tell that they are close to done. So, cooking is a lot of sensory things. We're feeding you to hit your senses and give you that sweet or salty or whatever you prefer. But then we're also using those senses to look at doneness, right? All right, so those guys are there. Let me move this back here for a second. Let me show you what we've got. So now these are done, right? We have the oven preheated to 400. That is our cooking temperature. And you're looking at about 15 minutes. And that's what you come out with.
Beautiful.
Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. And again, look at that. Look at the bottom. This is what I get from the oil, right? So the top, I didn't do any egg wash or anything, but look at the bottom. I got that absolute beautiful little, almost not fried, but just that awesome crusty little part of the bottom, okay? So now, let me show you a serving trick, something you can serve them with. And I am going to address the elephant in the room. We have pineapple salsa tonight. Someone asked me the last time if I like pineapple on everything. I love pineapple. Pineapple on pizza, pineapple in calzones, pineapple on burgers, empanada, maybe a little bit weird, but I got it in the salsa. So, look at this, you guys. Here's our little empanada tray for the night. We've got a really nice pineapple salsa, and we've got a fun little queso. So now, if you're getting ready to entertain and you think, hey, I want to take these guys on the road, or I want to take them to book club, or I want to have family movie night with the kids. What did I say? All the threes were... Yep, there we go. So the threes in here have raisins, right? and the 2s
Those will be yours.
don't. So we're going to line those guys up like that. But check this out. There you go. It doesn't get much better than that. It's a cool little presentation for the night. And I'm going to break one of these open so we can check out what the inside looks like. Let me set this over on the table for you. All right. Come in close. Let's get a little snapshot in here. There you go.
Yum.
I think that's just, that's so perfect, right? And look at the ratio. We don't have any dough pockets or any air voids. We have 100% full of beef into our empanada. So super cool, super easy. And like I said, you can grab our recipe today at cobeef.com. So go to cobeef.com. We have a little tab called cooking. Click on that cooking tab. You can download today's recipe. Let's say you want to make these today and pop them in the refrigerator and save them until tomorrow. Absolutely. If you're doing a lot of cooking work today, what I will do is make them like I have here, cover them with plastic wrap, pop them in the refrigerator. Maybe give yourself an extra 2 minutes of cooking time because that filling is going to be cold. But you can totally make them today and bring them out tomorrow to cook. Or you could make them today, bring them to your friend's house, finish them off there as well. So thank you for joining us for Friday Night with Beef. We appreciate it. We have a blast cooking with you every week. Next week, be sure to join us. I'm actually going to be mobile next week. I'm going to be in the barbecue trailer in a secret location. But tune in next week because we are doing one-pan beef stroganoff. And that's going to be perfect because I'll be in the barbecue trailer. I'm going to be hungry because I'll be working all day. And I'll have a fantastic beef stroganoff to round out the evening. So leave us your comments and let us know what you'd like to see. We've got a lot of fun videos coming up. And let us know what you want so we can make sure we work that into our cooking schedule for the next few weeks as well. So I'm Chef Jason Morris for the Colorado Beef Council. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and dads, have an absolutely amazing Father's Day weekend. Kick it off with these guys tomorrow night for movie night. Sunday, kick back, relax, grill up some beautiful steaks, and have a happy Father's Day.